Oh hey, it's me, Star-Lord. Even I'm cringing now. I need to take a step back and just think about what I'm doing with my life. I'll be back. So, I'm truly and deeply sorry for that. That'll never happen again. Until 2 days when I put on my Ant-Man costume. Alright, guys. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Anyways, hey guys, what's up? Colin the Big Yoshi here. Today we're gonna be reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'll just spare everybody the surprise once again, because everybody loves this movie, and I love this movie, and you probably won't disagree with me a lot. So obviously, you know, this movie came out in 2014, and I don't think that anybody thought this movie would be good when it was first announced, but this movie is one of the best MCU movies ever made. The story of it revolves around this boy named Peter Quill, played by Chris Pratt, and he loses his mother on Earth as a child. Like, she dies from cancer. Then he gets abducted by aliens, and like 20-something years later, probably, he's a superhero, basically. He's more of he's kind of a thief in the beginning, and he steals this thing called the Orb of Power, I think. And and then he meets some new people named Gamora, Drax the Destroyer, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot, and they all want the orb for themselves, except for Drax, but he's kind of a different story, but yeah. And then they realize that the orb is also wanted by a villain named Ronan, the Accuser, and he hates, he's part of the Kree Empire, and he hates the whole entire world of Xandar, and he wants to destroy it. As well as the Ravagers, which Quill belongs to, basically, and they want the orb as well, so they basically have to try to band together to escape from all of them and keep the stone safe, or keep the orb safe. So I think that my favorite thing about this movie is the characters. If any one of these characters was bad, then this movie wouldn't be nearly as good. No, every single character, every main character in this movie is good. Not every character, but every main character is great. Like, we have Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt, once again. And his story is really compelling because his mom died and he doesn't accept her death until the end of the movie, and he has to, and the Walkman that he uses, that he listens to, is super important to him because it basically represents the relationship with his mom. Then we have Gamora, played by Zoe Saldana, and she's great because she was a daughter of the Mad Titan Thanos, and we all know who Thanos is, so I'm not gonna describe him. And she was basically abused as a child, and she's trying to betray him, basically, trying to get away from him. Then we have Drax the Destroyer, and his arc is very compelling as well because he's this guy who hates Ronan and Thanos because they killed his family and his... Actually, yeah, it's his family. They killed his family, and he wants revenge on them, and he has a lot of emotion that he holds in throughout the whole movie, and it shows. You can tell, especially in the second one as well. Yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, Drax is played by Dave Bautista, and he's really good too. Then we have Rocket Raccoon, who is played by Bradley Cooper. And we don't get a lot of origin story about him or anything, but when he's drunk in one scene, he kind of spills his story, and it's kind of depressing because he was just a raccoon, and then he was experimented on and he was like destroyed and put back together again over and over and over again, and that's pretty sad. And then we have Groot, and we don't really have any origin about him. We just know that he's like the last of his kind. But he does get some emotional moments, like when he dies later in the film. That's kind of sad. It's I think it's probably one of the saddest deaths in the MCU, because I don't know why it's so emotional, him saying, "We are Groot," because he can only speak in the words, "I am Groot," so when we hear him saying different words, it's just sad. And all these characters together, they build up this new world that James Gunn made, and this new world, like the whole galaxy, is great. They have a ton of cultures, and they even explore that more in the second one again. And yeah, he just crafted a great world that is totally believable. A lot of people's favorite thing about this movie is how the pop music, well, it's a fantastic concept. They have all this pop music on Peter's Walkman, and it's in like each of the scenes, and it's really great because it just really symbolizes the relationship with his mom. And we get a lot of character growth for him in particular, because the opening scene on Morag, it just shows his personality and the tone that the movie is going for perfectly. He's just goofing off and using his jet boots and stuff, and it just really shows his personality. Something that I also like about the characters is that I like how they're not really friends at first. Like, they do this in the Avengers, but you can tell that they really don't like each other at first. And I've never even noticed this, but they still want to kill each other even in, like, the prison. They don't want to kill each other, but they want to turn each other over to, like, the bad guys. But then later they have this scene where they all talk to each other about their pasts and stuff, and then they start being all sympathetic and stuff, or empathetic, and it makes them all like each other. And there's also a couple other tiny character things that I like/don't like. Something that I like about Groot in particular is that this Groot is way better than Baby Groot or Teenage Groot. Those other ones are just kind of useless and they don't do anything. But Adult Groot is actually a really good addition to the team because he provides some comedic moments, and he also provides some emotional moments, and that's all well and good. And another character thing. I think the villain is a bit generic, but I think it was supposed to be that way, so I don't really mind it. And there's two characters that I just... actually, there's three characters that I don't really like in this movie. Number one is Thanos. And I just don't like him in this movie because after seeing Infinity War, at least, in this movie, it makes him definitely seem like a threat and a force to be reckoned with when he's not even scared that Ronan is going to come kill him when he has the power of the Infinity Stones. But I don't like how he doesn't seem like a sympathetic character or anything like that. He just seems like this big bad guy who just wants to go kill people. And yeah, he was fine before Infinity War came out, but after Infinity War came out, I just look at this movie and I'm like, that is not a good Thanos right there. That's not a good version. And I also don't like Nebula in this movie. I never really liked her until Endgame, really. That's when she's the best, I think. Yeah, in this movie, she's just, like, you feel sympathy for her, but she just yells the whole time, and she, like, is just mad at everybody. And I don't know, I don't think she's the best character. But at least they expand on her in Guardians 2. And, Endgame. And I also don't really like Yondu in this movie because he doesn't really have that great of a character arc. In the second one, he's really good. But in this one, he's just kind of there to like yell at Peter and, I don't know, just be mean to him. I don't know. But when they come together, like when all the Ravagers and the Guardians come together, it's great. And all of these characters are all played great. Like, everybody plays them perfectly. Something else I like about this movie is I like all the action scenes. I like the first one on Morag. That one I think is okay. It's just kind of a chase scene where Korath is trying to chase Peter and he just gets away in the ship. That one's fine, I guess. The one I really like, though, is I really like the one on Xandar with all the Guardians fighting each other. That one's just really great because I don't know why it's so great. It's really funny, and it also just kind of sets up all their, like, personalities and stuff. And I really like the prison escape scene as well. That's a great scene because it's funny and it's just a great scene. It's shot really well and it has some really great moments and some iconic moments, like where Rocket gets the gun and he's like, "Oh, yeah." It's just great. And I like the battle on Nowhere. That one's pretty good because you know that you're kind of angry at Drax when he calls in Ronan to try to fight him, but at the same time you can kind of see why he did it and it fits his personality. And I really like the final battle as well because all the heroes and the criminals come together. It's great. The CGI is really unique in that scene, like the CGI in the Nova ships. And there's like a moment where like every part, like the Ravagers are getting their asses kicked. Same with the Guardians inside, and same with the Nova corpse outside. And I like the final battle, I guess, because it is not even really a battle. It's like they have a dance off, and it's one of the funniest battles in the entire MCU. And yeah, it's just not even really a battle, but then it has the emotional moment where Star-Lord goes and he catches the Infinity Stone, even though he knows it'll kill him, but he does it to save the universe. And it even hints at Guardians 2, because they say that the reason he was able to hold the stone was because his father was something very ancient, and they definitely expand on that in Guardians 2. They hint at Infinity War a little bit as well, but I just really wish that in Infinity War, I just really wish that in Endgame or something, Drax got a shot at Thanos as well because he wanted to kill him. That would have been great. I feel like a lot of characters didn't get their money's worth in Endgame. Like, Hulk should have been able to beat Thanos up because he got his ass kicked in the first few minutes of Infinity War. But yeah, I don't really mind that much because I do love Endgame. And all of these fight scenes that I was just talking about, they all have great CGI and they all have great score, obviously. They all have a great score. Like, the Guardians theme in particular, that's a great theme. And I guess I'll talk about a few more scenes that I just didn't really like my few complaints, basically. Actually, I think it's really only one. Let me see. Actually, yeah, I only have this one little nitpicky kind of complaint. I think that the Infinity Stone exposition felt a little bit forced. Obviously, it's fine showing the audience about the Infinity Stones, but I just don't think that it was really good in this movie. They could have found a better way to explain them. And yeah, this whole movie was it's all wrapped up in this very funny package. This is like probably one of the this is one of the funniest movies in the MCU. Probably like my second, it'd probably be my second pick for funniest. Like just the leg scene, the legendary I need that guy's leg scene, that just cemented right there. Obviously. And even after the credits is really lighthearted and funny. Like Baby Groot dancing, that's really funny. Even if I don't really like Baby Groot that much. So yeah, this movie was fantastic. It's definitely one of my favorite MCU movies, and I've rewatched it countless times. So I think I would give it a 5 out of 5. So yeah, if you guys liked this, then maybe leave a like and subscribe. That'd be pretty legendary. I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm just trying to think up words, and I don't know. So, yeah. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about Avengers Age of Ultron. I'm excited to talk about that one. So yeah. Bye, guys.